It has been discovered that close to 700 koalas have been killed off by local authorities using lethal injection in Cape Otway in southern Australia. It was in an attempt to stop overpopulation, which was leading to the animals starving to death. The koalas were put down after being captured in the trees, sedated, and then assessed by veterinarians. On average, at Cape Otway, up to 11 koalas inhabit the woodlands per hectare. That's compared with the sustainable rate in Victoria, where fewer than 1 koala lives per hectare. A hectare is just under 2.5 acres. So wildlife officials conducted the 3 euthanasia operations in 2013 and 2014 to kill a total of 686 koalas. It was a covert campaign in order to avoid any backlash from animal rights groups and, of course, the community. Victoria's State Environment Minister Lisa Neville had this to say. She said that the intervention was necessary. It was to prevent suffering of koalas because they weren't able to find enough food. So, Jose, I ask you the question that everybody's thinking. Was this some secret, messed up plan to kill a bunch of koalas because they don't care about them and they don't want to take the time to help them and relocate them? Or was it completely necessary? Because the trees were going bare, a lot of things, they were taking a big toll on the wildlife over there.
You know, overpopulation in nature, it's a real issue. Yeah. The more we introduce these species to habitats that they normally are not, we'll see these situations. In Mexico, there was this very famous case where there is a native species of salamander, the ajolote, that used to live in the rivers of the city. And when they introduced tilapia fish to these channels and some experiment with beluga whales.
Beluga whales?
Yeah, in the channels where these salamanders used to live, they ate the salamanders, and now it's extinct. And this is a salamander that lived since the Aztec time.
Wow.
This is, you know, it's a national animal, a little bit like koalas for Australia. Koalas also, they're a very big tourist attraction. Yeah. They bring people to see the koalas. So I think that might have gotten out of control. I read that it's mainly targeting starving koalas, and that there's a group of veterinarians assessing the state of these koalas and they're deciding that some of them, they're in pretty bad shape and they're euthanizing, helping them have a, you know, easy death where no pain or no suffering is involved. But at the same time, the fact that it was a covert operation, that it wasn't public, it raises some questions.
Well, aside from trying to avoid pissing a lot of people off, there is another reason why this was covert. They knew they had to do it. Mm-hmm. They knew it was kind of their faults as well. Now, these koalas aren't native to these parts. They were brought from another island. Now, that was in the 80s. They brought them over because the population over there was booming. So they brought them here. There was no natural predators. There was no brush fires. There was nothing to threaten the population. So they grew, and they grew out of control. So they knew it was kind of their fault. That's why they did it secretly. They were like, a lot of people are going to get pissed off at us, inevitably. A lot of people are going to yell at us. We need to do it, inevitably. It needs to happen. So it's kind of a sticky situation. Somebody who might disagree with us, though, is Chief Executive Deborah Tubbart of the Australian Koala Foundation. Yes, there is a Koala Foundation, of course.
Yes, it should be.
Here's what she had to say. She had a bit of a different take on this. She said, what they've done is shocking. Why did they let it happen in the first place? I think the government should hang its head in shame. Okay, I see her point. I see the point of the local authorities who took initiative to put the koalas down. Like I said, it's a really complicated situation, but Australia is so big. Couldn't they find some place to relocate them? Because that's 700 koalas,
but then you are
that's
in
a
the
lot.
situation where they'll relocate them, they'll grow without control or without natural predators, and it will happen again and again and again. So definitely it's a very controversial situation where animal rights advocates and animal lovers will feel the pain of the loss of almost 700 koalas that we know of. But at the same time, the governments, many times they are facing these situations where they have to make unpopular decisions to do the best they can to fix probably all their mistakes that they have incurred in. So, you know, it's a no-win situation.
Yeah, and a hard decision to make indeed. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think that they should take more responsibility, having put the koalas there in the first place, to relocate them? Or was this necessary to do in order to ensure the survival of the remaining koalas? Let us know what you guys think by commenting. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Lip TV for more.